with a vengeance. Okay, so I have to apologise for the last 2 weeks because my audio died and my inputs died, so I couldn't record it on my little digi camera, which I'm recording on now, and it wouldn't take it, so I don't know, something broke and I don't know how I fixed it, but the audio still isn't working, so I'm using this camera here. Sad face. Just to do a quick catch up on the 2 videos that I missed. Accents, I can't do them. Wow, that was over quick. And who inspires me? The Beatles, who are playing in the background, if you've noticed. This week's theme is something that we feel passionately about, a cause or an issue. So I'm going to talk to you about something called multiple sclerosis, commonly shortened to MS, which is a motor disease that affects your movement, it affects your walking, it affects your ability to hold and pick up things, and it can become quite frustrating for some people because eventually most people become wheelchair bound, and it has led to some people with the condition choosing to end their lives in Dignitas clinics in Switzerland, which I feel isn't necessarily the right choice. Okay, so one of the reasons that I'm really passionate about working towards a cure for and helping people with multiple sclerosis is because I'm unfortunate enough to have several family members that either are or were afflicted with it before they died. In particular, my granny, who is still alive in a wheelchair, and my Uncle Bernard, who unfortunately died when I was a baby. Multiple sclerosis isn't considered a genetic disease, a hereditary genetic disease anyway. But my family appears to be the exception because there is an emerging pattern that shows that several of my family members are in the current generation are likely to contract multiple sclerosis. It's very strange and it shouldn't really happen, but it does. In fact, there's an increased chance that I myself might have multiple sclerosis, because one of the horrible things about it is that you don't know you have it until you get into your late 20s. You can diagnose it earlier, but the signs won't show themselves until you get to about 25-ish. One of the really, really, truly horrible things about a condition like multiple sclerosis is that it's a degenerative disease, which means that it gets worse as you go along. It can start off seeming, okay, I can manage this, I can still walk, I just occasionally have fits where I can't do things. Yes, but it's very downhill from there, especially when you get to my granny's age, which is 78, I think. And my dad is always worried about her because what happens if Grandad John, her husband, dies? What happens? Where does Granny go? Because we can't have her in our house. There will be no one to look after her. We don't have the right number of rooms. It's inappropriate. We have stairs. She would have to go into care. For my dad, that would feel like abandoning her. And it's very difficult for him to cope with, never mind Granny, who actually suffers it. So one of the horrible things about MS is that it affects not only you, but your family and your friends, and it can uproot lives and families. Because MS is effectively the breaking down of the lining around your nerves. Think of it as like an electricity wire. It's all metal on the inside, but it's got a plastic casing. Well, MS breaks down that plastic casing, so your nerves misfire, they go to the wrong places, sometimes they don't work, etc. Because it's one of these things, they feel that embryological experiments, that is, experiments on embryos, which is newly fertilized egg cells, will help fix the disease. But as part of a Christian family, part of my dad's side of the family are very Catholic, we're not sure that that's the right way to go about finding a cure. and that if a cure is found by that means, it will be worth them taking it. My granny's opinion on this is, God gave me what he gave me. This is my lot. I should stick with it regardless of the consequences. And for her, it's unlikely that she will live to see a cure discovered that will work. She'll have lost the best years of her life. She might only have 6 months or something left by the time they find a cure, if they find one at all in her lifetime. So that, for me, is very upsetting and difficult to talk about. On a light note, this week's blog of the week is Fuck Yeah Tom Milson. Links in my jeans down there. And basically it's all things Tom Milson, who is a nerd fighter and a member of Sons of Admirals and very closely involved with Alex Day and Charlie McDonnell and the like. And the reason that I recommend this blog is not just because I'm somewhat infatuated with the idea of Tom Milson, but also because it's genuinely funny, and Tom Milson himself admits, wait a second, let me quote this, BTW, if you aren't already following Fuck Yeah Tom Milson, do so. It catalogues the things I do better than I do myself, which is why you should be following that. So I have to apologise for today's rather depressing vlog. I hope it'll be better next week when maybe my actual audio is working, or my mum's got me a digital camera, the filmy film. Unlikely, but we can live in hope.